What's up, people? Welcome to another beautiful, beautiful episode of Content Breaker, which I am genuinely excited to talk about. I am the Zogbokto, and today we're going to be talking about, my opinion, the best of the big three. Fuck you, fight me. Bleach.
We don't have to fight each other because we have different opinions.
Yeah, I know somebody's going to want to for that.
It's a battle anime. But... Yes, we do.
That's literally the whole point.
Yeah.
But did you know my
Zogbokto
can rewrite the history of the world? I don't know, man.
Hey, what the fuck is this, JoJo's? No,
yeah.
it's Bleach.
You're a Fullbringer at best. That's strange. But speaking of other people, I'm also joined by Quincy Kelz and Reaper Static. How y'all doing?
I'm so happy. I feel like he's going to make me a Quincy. But I'm glad I'm a Reaper.
Because I have glasses and look like Uyu.
That's the only
Because
reason.
all the black characters are Reapers. Mine is... No.
The darkest skinned guy in this show is a Fullbringer. What?
But also the blind captain, though.
Yeah.
Well,
And
Yoruichi's
Yoruichi.
she don't ever use a sword, though. So, there's
Sorry,
like four
Yoruichi.
forms of comment. Yeah.
I wish I could be Yoruichi. Anyway, let's get into Bleach. Not
So-
the thing that cures COVID, but the anime.
Okay.
Oh no.
So, Bleach, one of the OG big three in Shonen Jump, where, the big three being Naruto, One Piece, and Bleach. Of course, written by Tite Kubo.
Yes. I love this show. I love this freaking show. This is one of the first, me knowing what anime was, first shows that I watched where I was just like, oh, hey, yes, anime, please, me want to watch. It's also one of the first ones where I actively tried to stay up into the night to actually watch it.
I know that. Go ahead.
It has its problems. I will readily admit that. But overall, the actual story that Tite Kubo wrote, and the actual show itself, minus the filler, I love this shit. I think it's great.
Yeah, the world, the characters, the stakes. It's all there. There's a reason why this was one of the big three. It just happened to be one of the big three that really suffered for being in that high echelon.
Yeah. For the purposes of this particular podcast, we're only going to be talking about through the Soul Society. There's too much to talk about if we were to actually do the whole damn thing. So expect a part 2 sometime later, but...
This is a typical shonen anime, wink, that, one of its entire purposes is to have a long runtime. So this is 366 episodes until it got canned and had to wrap it up real quick. So we're talking about
a revival.
Which, thank God, but how long did it take?
Too damn long. Too goddamn long.
But no, definitely. We're covering about, I would say, half of the important, memorable stuff.
No, not even.
Third.
A third's probably closer. It's finicky because especially with the show, there's no filler between beginning through the Soul Society stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's when the Arrancar arc starts up that things get a little more confusing. And around the time Kubo was doing the Wako Mundo, Arrancar, all of that stuff, Shonen Jump was on their shit being like, hey, you're making us money. Keep it going. Keep it going. Come on, man. Keep it going. And Kubo was also dealing with a lot of health problems because of the life of a mangaka. And he was, for a time, it actually held the record for the longest running arc in all of Shonen Jump. If you count the Fate Cardigan stuff, it takes up like 27 volumes. So not quite half, but
yeah,
it's the only good cutoff point.
I'm coming at this from there are two important arcs: save Rukia and save Orihime. Like
That's fair.
Who can we save this arc is really what Bleach is about.
Very false. But okay.
I mean, aren't they saving everyone in every arc?
Not
universe, the Soul Society, the existence.
in that respect, so is Goku.
That's his whole life.
And everything in Dragon Ball Z. It's like, oh, somebody's dead. Bring back. We can just be like, oh, it's the Dragon Balls Bring Back Krillin arc.
It's not
for the fifth time,
but it is the results.
It is the result, which is one of the problems, and with this show, it's also a big misconception about it.
Yeah, that it's a very simplification to call it two whole salvation arcs.
Yeah.
Let's shall we get into moving along to some more details?
Yes. I talked a bit about my experience with this show. What's your guys's? What do you know of it?
Well, how things worked in America, it was because of limited resources. I feel like no one was ever watching. It was just how it happened. No one was ever like, I'm all of the big three. I'm either a Naruto person, I'm either a Bleach person, or a One Piece person. I don't know what the divide was.
Pick two.
Yes, you had to either pick two or like just pick one. I was the Naruto person. I had watched One Piece on 4Kids, but then that had stopped on 4Kids, and I didn't go look for it again. So I was like, I have easy access to Naruto. Like, I feel like I'm too far out of Bleach because we didn't have the access to streaming we had now. So I was like, I'm gonna just be, a Naruto fanboy, and that's what I did until like Marineford happened and got me back into One Piece like late in high school. So I was like, we out here. And then I never really got into Bleach until, I started seeing clips and stuff, and I was like, yo, this is kind of crazy. I love the Spanish influence. Who the hell is Yoruichi? Like, and like that. Who is that? Who is Urahana? Like, I'm just like, these are two characters that I'm here for. The OG Kenpachi. I'm probably pronounced her name wrong. But
and that was a massive spoiler.
How was that a massive spoiler?
It hasn't even been animated yet.
It wasn't a spoiler until you said it was a spoiler.
Motherfucker.
I mean,
so the fact that Kenpachi exists in this series at all, and it's like kind of a character whose existence and single goal in life is to fucking fight. And the battle that he has with Ichigo in this arc is like, because we get all of this important, really kind of, lore bullshit about, like, you're supposed to know your Zanpakuto, and you're, like, that your strength comes from, like, your relationship. And he's just out here swinging a chipped-ass sword. I forgot that motherfucker's name years ago, and he's still a captain.
Well, here's the thing. He never forgot it. He never knew it whatsoever.
Yes.
Every captain's supposed to have both releases of their swords, be one of the best of the best out there. He don't know shit. All he knows is swing.
Yeah.
And he captain. Not only captain, he's got the title of strongest captain. Because Kenpachi ain't a name. It's a title.
And for that to just be a character of the whole cast in a shonen show.
I once heard Kenpachi described as a rejected Godzilla villain. Too strong for Godzilla. I still don't know how to argue against that.
No, he's in the echelon of King Ghidorah. Yeah.
Could you imagine 3-headed Kenpachi?
No.
Death. Just death upon us all.
So Kai, you picked this show up kind of later in life, coming around to it when you got some more time to invest, and it was more available because, it's if you weren't watching periodically when it was releasing on Adult Swim here in the States, you weren't going to be able to be current.
Yeah,
Or
and
definitely.
the crazy part is that I tried watching Bleach, but the aspect ratio and just like the animation threw me. So I did what I did best, and I went and just read it, and I kind of didn't stop. So I'm now making my way through the anime after having somewhat finished Bleach.
Are
in
you
the manga.
current?
I am, yes, I am in the after story right now because that's what happened. Like, and watching it wise, I'm
You
in the
got that hell
Espada
chapter?
arc. Yeah. Watching it, I actually finished before that because Shonen Jump was like, this is coming out, and I was like, oh shit, I gotta read
Let's
faster.
finish.
Yeah, so I did, and like the manga was so much easier to digest for me. The art's crazy. I feel like the dialogue's better. But then watching the anime, the OST is what I hold myself out on. So that's why I'm coming back and like watching it, so I can be hype and understand, how good number one is, and like that theme song I don't remember, but it has like the whistling, crackling noise in it.
Near defeat or something like that. Close
Yeah.
to defeat. I don't know.
Yeah, close to defeat. That's also like a banger. And I had to see Yodorichi's iconic pose animated.
All of Yodoichi.
Yes, that was that, and Ichigo, stuff that definitely did not happen in this arc, but stuff that he did too. So definitely had to go back.
Ichigo's a constant presence of what the fuck.
Yeah.
Because he is presented as your typical shonen protagonist, but he definitely is not your typical one. This show is, you pointed out some of the power system stuff. A big part of the power system is understanding yourself and coming to terms with yourself. That's why as he grows, and his character will literally grow and change as he gets stronger because of that. And he can go up leaps and bounds because of that.
And I think that's kind of one of the things about the big three, that we're so kind of in the right place at the right time. You've got a history of shonen manga and anime, and this was like the next evolution. It called on the tropes and the story beats, but it was all very unique setting wise, world wise, and relationship wise. Like, this was an era that really focused on the protagonist and their struggles within, and their connection to their peers and their enemies, and all of that extra layer is really what brought the big three into their own, where now all of that shit's just all of that is new tropes. That is the standard now.
That is
Well, let's get Strange's his experience, and then we'll move more into like the big three. So, what was your experience with Bleach?
Well, I really didn't have much of a experience with Bleach growing up.
Okay, next. So, Kelz, did you have?
Damn,
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I couldn't resist.
My story is pretty much like yours. I just grew up watching the One Piece on 4Kids Saturday morning. After that, I really didn't get into Naruto or Bleach. Still not really into Naruto that much.
Yeah, fun fact, you've never actually watched Naruto, right?
I've seen an episode or two, especially when it just randomly showed up. It was a Shippuden on Disney XD. It just showed up one day. I was like, I have no context for what's happening. I'm going to check it out. Let's see what Disney gets away with.
Now that you've reminded me of that, what has happened recently does not surprise me anymore.
That's what I told people.
I should have seen that shit coming. Holy fucking shit. Disney, what the hell?
Hey, that's how I continued Naruto. Money. Disney XD. So thank you.
But I still didn't really. My stepsister, funnily enough, I saw they were fighting some giant centipede man in the middle of a desert, and I was like, what the heck is happening? I don't even know. I don't have the context. It looks cool. Years later, like very recently, only maybe 3 years ago, I actually tried to catch up on Bleach because I heard the whispers of like, oh, the 1,000-year blood war's coming. He's coming. It's gonna happen. And I was like, well, maybe now's the time. You know, I didn't really get into it when I was younger, so let me check it out. And I really wasn't that disappointed in it. It was actually pretty cool. Again, I like the music. I was like, I'm vibing with this music. Hold on. Like, I'm like, yeah! You know? Soul Society was a very interesting start, and just kind of learning the whole works of everything. Like, in my friend groups, they talk about Bleach all the time, so I kind of understand what's happening. But up until recently, yeah, I haven't really had much of a interaction with it.
Yeah.
All right.
And I wasn't disappointed. I need to catch up. I'm in the middle of the arc after this one. I just gotta watch it.
Define the
till
arc
October.
after this one.
Yeah, I'm like,
the arc
what
after
is...
the filler arc.
Does it
Like
have
a
a
moon?
name?
Yeah.
Or is it...
Espada?
The Espada arc, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I was like sitting here going through my head.
So
He's right. It's
I'll
weird.
ask you more details later. Don't
Remember,
worry.
we finished
Next
Soul
episode.
Society, then there's the whole JoJo
Yeah,
stand arc, and then there's
No, okay, I know what
the
you're doing.
soul-sucking
Skip
JoJo
that shit.
stands. Yeah.
Skip the bounce. You're in the bounce arc. Skip that shit.
No, I skipped it. I mean, I didn't. I skimmed through it. I'm past that. I've met
Out of
Nell
all-
and everything. So
Don't get me wrong. The Bleach filler can become very unique and very interesting. In isolation, as a part of the overall product, it's a big problem. But the bounce arc is the black sheep of everything to do with this show.
no, I mean, I'm
It
seeing
sucks.
I'm seeing the Espadas and stuff. I'm in the middle of that, all
Okay.
that stuff. For
That
Yeah,
boy.
man.
Just remember, 2 hands. I don't know if anybody got that, but
I don't know if it's exactly what I was thinking.
it is.
but-
It's probably what you're thinking of. It's like all he did was use another hand. I was
Yeah.
reading that, and I was like, "Are you fucking serious?" I'm just like, and then like, and people say, and people give One Piece crap. I'm just saying. Sorry.
Okay, there you lost me, but whatever.
I'm just saying his power up was using his other hand. And people
That
say
thing.
One
Okay.
Piece is trash because of their
Oh,
power ups. And I'm just like,
Dude, Bleach fans make fun of that shit all the time.
okay, I wasn't in the Bleach community like that, but now I
I was
know.
about to say, neither was I.
Everybody makes fun of that scene.
People
You'll
die.
find out about it then.
People time
Okay,
when they're
Even
It's-
this
it's in
isn't
the
on.
next-
So this isn't on your rundown, which is very nice, by the way. But I had to bring this up. Orihime does not deserve the hate that she gets, and I don't understand.
I was gonna save that till part 2 because
Yeah.
those arcs focus on her more. But yes, you're right. Honestly, Orihime gets, from what I understand, a lot of people hate on Orihime because they
Oh, yeah, because
Rukia
of-
better.
Which I don't understand that
Kind
one.
of like how some Naruto fans hate Sakura because they like Hinata.
See, I agree.
Well,
then-
that's the right
but
choice.
But,
Yeah.
but then Hinata ended up in Naruto anyway, so all of them just like, oh, we got our way, so we're fine.
Sakura is not useless. That's a whole nother podcast we can
That's a
have.
whole other.
Tintin is useless.
Yeah. Correct.
if you,
She ain't even a ninja anymore. That's Boruto's fault, not her fault. But anyway, so back. Speaking, sorry, the big 3 are just so closely related. You know, we delve into them One Piece and Naruto. But the thing that I feel like is the consensus of what made the big 3 is the popularity and like the pure like force. Like if you went into Hot Topic circa 2006 to 2008, all you saw on the wall were the big 3, like, and Hello Kitty, of course.
Hello
But-
Kitty dressed up as the big 3, yes.
Oh shit, that's right. They did do that.
Yeah, they did do that. They did do the Akatsuki. For Naruto, they did the Akatsuki, which was weird.
They did the Akatsuki, Naruto, all of Team 7. Except Kakashi, I think.
I say my weeb ass is about to be flexing in the Sanrio crossover.
Got the backpack with Kitty Zoro on here.
Got the Chuck Taylors with the fucking. Yeah.
I'm still waiting for an official Converse anime collab because they do DC stuff all the time. I will go broke. Hold some weeb Converses that I'll probably be too afraid to wear. Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, no, it's like the popularity, the outreach, which made these the big three. And the fact that, like, the manga sales for these were crazy, too, back in that time. It was, like, the accessibility was so hard to get, but people, still would go back.
Would go out of their way to get all 3 of them.
Yeah, and back then we had Borders, which, RIP Borders, I miss you so much, which was, like, the happening.
The bookstore, not the lines on a map.
Yes, not... Yes. Borders, the bookstore that sold manga, is no longer here. So that put me off.
It's no longer
completely.
local to us.
Yes, but that was where I went, and I picked up some volumes of Naruto that I lost in like everything that's happened in my life since then. Yeah. But just it was cool, and that was the only manga they had there. Like. And it was in, like, the comic collection, too. Like, can we just appreciate the fact that manga has gone from being thrown into, like, the comic collection to now having a bigger spot than the comic section in bookstores. Like, we are truly out here, and it is a beautiful time.
If you could have shown a Bleach fan today versus back then... I
cry sometimes when I go into Books A Million. I'm like, ooh, another aisle has been added.
That reminds me, actually, when I finally discovered streaming and everything, I actually didn't want to watch Bleach because I knew it just kind of like ended without like an ending. So when I heard 1,000 Year Blood War was coming back, I think that was what kind of pushed me to go start watching it again. I was like, oh, okay, they're going to come back and finish it. I like animes with an ending. I'm going to go watch it.
You'll never watch Pokemon then.
Yeah, the way they wrapped up the anime, you could just take as an ending. Kind of like, well, it's kind of like with the ending of the Soul Society thing. This is an ending. If you stop here, you have closure to everything. But there's clearly more to do.
Than to ever be done.
I was going to say, Aizen gets away at the end. That's kind of like the overarching...
Sir.
What?
We don't even know that Aizen's
Society
a bad guy until the end of the Soul Society arc.
Wait,
that's what we're talking about, Soul Society.
I saw a dead body.
It was the Getcho Shutensei. I just mixed Naruto and Bleach
You
together.
just mixed a lot of things up there.
It was the Nebuchadnezzar Baku Yak. Anyways.
Are you actually
Run that
trying
back.
to say the
It
name of
was
the
the
sword?
Nebugon.
Nebugon Prime.
The Sharingan has evolved again.
Polymerization.
New Genjutsu.
Rene Rinbirth, Agumon, Metal Greymon.
Warp Digivolve.
Let it rip. Oh no.
Yeah. The sword's actually
The bone of my sword.
Didn't get to.
kinda actually. No, that's just Ichigo's.
Bro, I saw that episode where he was trying to find a new, with all the swords, trying to find a real one.
Yeah, his Bonkai training.
Yeah.
It was fucking great.
Man.
But yeah,
There was this.
Aizen's is Kyoka Suigetsu.
Told you this was Naruto.
Basically, reflection, a mirrored reflection of the moon,
And
usually on a water surface.
Rukia's brother knows pedal dance from Pokemon.
Zimbone Sakura.
Yeah, I was about to say, put some respect on it, man. Like, pedal dance,
And
my
pedal dance.
ass.
Okay.
Did you see that?
Just take a look at.
Yeah,
take a
no,
look
it was
at that
cool.
Fucking Bonkai. God
No,
damn.
it's just like Bunkai, and I think that's like the whole kind of like everything's ramping up, much like a typical shonen show does.
Oh yeah.
Where just like, oh yeah, now that you're unlocking your true power, you can go fight. Oh, I'm just kidding. They're gonna kill you in like 2 seconds, especially one of them. Who's
Right.
bunking.
Let me run that back to the first time that happened.
Yeah.
So I kind of love this show. And by kind of, I mean, I do. It's very, I'm not going to say formulaic, but you kind of can expect where we're going until it hits you with the swerve.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then it constantly does that, right? So, you know, in the first 14, 15-ish episodes, we're getting introduced to the world, we're getting introduced to the lore, we're collecting all of our characters that are going to be on our squad. And we're kind of feeling out what it's like to have our shonen protagonist, Ichigo Kurosaki, be a Soul Reaper. And then we get a bunch of shit, right? Because Rukia's like, they're going to come for me and take me back to the Soul Society because I was told that they're not going to leave me here forever. And then her brother go ahead.
Hey, it turns out, the thing I did to give you superpowers and save your family, yeah, it turns out that's illegal.
Super illegal.
Like, death penalty illegal. So,
But not
bye.
actually. Which is the crazy part when
Yeah.
we get into the Soul Society arc. It's just because they want him to fucking kill her. And some other kind of crazy plot behind the scenes, which we find out about. But it's like, okay, they're going to come for me. And then when they come for her, it's like Ichigo's, you know, left in the dark. Because Rukia's like, hey, thanks for all the help. Good luck in life. Don't fucking look for me. I taped the stuffed animal behind the toilet for a reason. Don't come look for me. And of course, what does he do? Come look for her and then gets the work put to him. We have seen him like struggle and grow, but we've never seen him outclassed like this before.
This was the only time Renji had a W.
He doesn't even get a W in here.
I mean, yeah. He gets a tie, maybe.
No, not at all.
Okay, Renji never gets a W.
It's the
Yeah, he gets
Yamcha.
one, but he is basically the Yamcha of this show.
You're supposed
So
to
bad.
care, but
He's supposed.
He's
It-
still better than Yamcha,
yes.
technically,
Technically,
because
yeah,
reasons.
we straight up see Ichigo wound a Godzilla-sized monster, and to your point, Renji starts putting in the work on him. We see swords can transform into new and bigger swords, and Ichigo just out of nowhere just says, "Hey, guess what? I don't even gotta have the blonde hair to go Super Saiyan. I'm just that crazy, motherfucker."
That man's like, why did you slow down? And Renji's like, no, you dumb bastard. You just sped up.
you were just faster. What you mean? It's like, I'm insulted. I'd be insulted. I'd be like, what?
Dude's a lieutenant and straight up had to get saved by somebody who just found out swords can transform.
What Byakuya just being like, and then suddenly the fight is over and Ichigo is just on a puddle on the ground.
He's a mess on the
Two
on the
holes
pavement.
in his chest and he's just done.
And not only is he done, like he's done with the fact that his soul chain has been cut and his soul well or whatever has also been stabbed.
Sleep.
So-
So sleep, I think.
So he's never coming back, quote
Nope.
unquote.
No more powers.
Just
The powers
fucking,
Rukia gave him are gone.
and in like an hour he's gonna be dead on the street, you know, like. Except,
Until-
and he should have been dead before, but
Should-
then he was like, "I'm a Shonen protagonist," so he grabbed the guy's
It's like,
sleeve.
my will keeps me alive. I still fight.
Plot tells me I have to do this.
The power of
His
friendship
ninja way
compels me.
propels him to
Yeah.
live.
Yes.
Actually, yeah, that's pretty accurate.
So, yeah, that was interesting to say the least. Sorry. Wow, that was a. I looked at it. I was like, I'm gonna cough. Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm working on it. But yeah, no, and this some of the aspects of like, which is weird because when you think about it, it's like the same. I feel like another reason why Bleach, Naruto, and One Piece were the big three is because they all followed kind of a similar formula, but the main characters were like completely different people. Like, Naruto really revolutionized the sad boy, like, because he was, despite Shippuden and definitely despite Boruto, Naruto was emo as fuck, honestly. Like, and
Yeah, I remember that phase. I didn't watch it. I remember.
And Luffy was kind of like the pure, like, I don't think we had like meathead like characters, like, Yusuke, like, I mean, I guess Kenshin was kind of airheaded, but like Luffy was just kind of stupid, and like, and then we had Ichigo, who's just like, I need 5 ambulances, motherfucker, like the kind of cool, like bruiser guy.
Just keep me alive.
He that loyal ass friend who just shows up out of nowhere and it's just like, I got this. It takes care of all your problems.
Yeah.
Especially when 5 people are just beating on your ass.
Yeah. So it's interesting, how that just worked. And I feel like that went into us having like so many colorful characters, especially in Bleach. Because, we have, like you said, we have the Ichigo, who is like that guy, and then we have the Chad, whose whole story was very interesting. Like, the quiet guy who, like, because what's Chad again? Giant. Yeah, he's part, like, wait, do we know what Chad is in this point?
You mean like race-wise, or just like his power set?
His powers, like,
okay, because there's debate around all of.
He has arm hits hard.
They never named what his power was until the Fullbring arc.
Okay, that's what I was making sure.
But all we know, they just kept looking at him and was just like, his powers are hollow-ish, or Hime's are Soul Reaper-ish. They probably just got these from hanging out with Ichigo so much, which was weird, because when you watch the Substitute Soul Reaper arc, they don't hang out with him nearly as much as everybody else.
It's from their experiences with
the
him. Yeah. Him and the Hollows, and like him exuding all of this fucking spirit pressure. Like, I know why he has this. I'm aware of the lore.
Same.
Yeah.
But it's like, who the fuck is this random dude with all this spirit pressure that's like, none of the problems are any of the like episode like topics. It's all just Ichigo.
Yeah.
I kind of actually like the whole spirit pressure thing. Like the whole concept actually was like really cool, because like it's not like, oh yeah, ki or power levels like in Dragon Ball where it's like, yeah, but it's not like, but when you have spirit pressure, and when your spirit pressure is strong enough, you could just have another person just eat the pavement because yours is so strong. I was like,
that's exude a bit of strength, and gravity itself changes.
I like, that's actually a really cool concept. It's like I like that. Yeah, later on hockey, when hockey comes into play.
Go Lightning.
Right wings. But yeah, no, it's really cool, and I feel like Kubo took inspiration from Yu Yu Hakusho with that. I feel like that, and like maybe Hunter x Hunter, because people always forget Hunter x Hunter came out in the 90s before it came out for real in 2011. But like Chad's definitely an interesting character. I know we talked about Renji. Were there any other characters? I mean, it happened in this arc, of course, we talked about.
Who's the one bald headed man?
Urahara, Yodoichi. There's Fuck, and we still have all the captains. We could talk
wait. Hold on. What's the dude with the hat? Dude with the hat.
Urahara.
Okay.
Kisuke Urahara.
All right,
Who I always confuse because his name is so similar to. Yeah.
Yeah, you're thinking of Uno Hana.
Uno Hana, yeah. Her name is so beautiful.
Kisuke, though. That's my motherfucker. Like,
Kisuke's a goat.
I forget what we know at this point because I watched this and I've caught up some on the beginning, but like for Kisuke to be this kind of mentor to a substitute Soul Reaper and just know all this shit and have connections to the black market in the underground and like the link between worlds, in the same way with Yodorichi, right? Like her and her knowledge and her experience in the world and applying that to this goal, I'm like, I'll never be such a badass mentor like that, but I can try.
That's the goal.
and what an interesting character to like introduce, because you're right, he just exudes so much mystery. Like, what's your whole thing? Like, you ex-captain, like, you something else? Like, what's happening here?
By the end of Soul Society, you find out this random guy who owns a candy shop, just likes wearing a hat, a black cloak, and clogs, was a former captain who for some reason got kicked out of Soul Society, or did he run out? Who knows? And is one of the smartest guys to ever exist, and is on such a level that even the head captain considers him a threat. And that's supposed to be like the strongest guy, period, full stop.
And you find all this out at you get introduced to this when it's time for Ichi to go to the Soul Society after having been saved from Byakuya, and just like, all right, well, you don't have any of your powers, so we're gonna either kill you or make you stronger. You've got two choices.
Here's my training regime: either A, you die and you're no longer my problem, or B, you get stronger and I get credit for it.
And then he at lesson number 3, he whips out his own Zanpakuto, and you're like, what the fuck? And then he introduces his name, and the cane transforms into an actual sword.
Also, side note, Benahime, damn fine blade. I want one.
Well, I mean, you might have to go through some shit to get one, but hopefully one day.
We'll just have to push you guys down a hole for about 3 days or however long it took, and then maybe you'll awaken. Maybe not. Who knows?
Maybe. Maybe we'll go to jail for murder.
If I got an actual Zanpakuto, it would not be Benahime.
I mean, we don't have deep enough holes in this area.
That's what you think.
So. Oh, don't forget, you have to climb out of that hole without using your arms.
I mean, I feel like someone did it with their teeth, but I don't remember who.
Well, no, he just jumped out when he became a Soul Reaper again. That's all.
I mean, I feel like somewhere in anime, someone did it with their teeth.
There was that. Well, tangent. JoJo's Part 2, when he was working with he had a mask on and he had to climb out of this tower to go fight the Pillarman.
Yeah, he had to Spider-Man his way up.
Yeah. I don't know about somebody doing it with teeth. That sounds like some Naruto shit.
Yeah. Probably.
Put my chakra in my munchers and just
I could see that being a Naruto thing.
Probably was.
Yeah. I do love how Urahara's training is just a precursor to the Bankai training that he has to do later with Yodoichi.
Yeah.
And that part kind of also introduces the kind of big subplot of something laying deep within Ichigo, which I personally am a sucker for in these shonen shows. Yes, there's a deep, dark, forbidden power hidden deep inside. I want to see it when it cracks open. I'm ready.
You've never watched Naruto.
We keep talking about different mysteries going on and everything, and that's one of the best things I love about this show is because there's always something to like read into and try and figure out. And when you see all of the pieces start fitting together, especially in the 1,000-Year Blood War arc, where you get true answers to things, god damn, does it is cathartic, it is rewarding, and by far you feel like you've accomplished something just by keeping up with it.
I'm excited. This is not
I'm
Fate
very excited.
level, but it's almost Fate level.
It's convoluted enough to be Fate level.
And half of it's just time invested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the curse of Shonen.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's always a mystery in this show, and Aizen's usually the biggest one. Goddamn Aizen.
Yeah,
Wow.
I mean,
Who,
yeah.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. He's one of the best villains I've ever seen in Shonen. Just like full stop.
I mean, but is he Bond Clay? Sorry.
I don't know who that is, so
Oh,
sorry. He's
oh,
the ballerina face shifter from One Piece.
That's
but-
right.
All right.
I was like,
So-
oh yeah.
right. One Piece wasn't in my 3. Wasn't one of my 2.
Compared to Orochimaru, I agree.
Orochimaru was sick though. He's okay.
Yes.
I will give you that Aizen's probably a better villain than Orochimaru, but I will tell you, no one has a better theme in Shonen than Orochimaru's villain theme.
No villain has a better theme. I'll
Yeah,
say
no
that.
villain has a better
Okay.
theme than him like that.
Okay.
Oh my god, sorry. I'm not gonna
What?
do it and
Yeah.
kill our 2 views that we get, but like
But no, definitely with the mystery on the front end and how like supremely badass he is for the rest of until we beat him. Like Aizen, yeah, holy shit.
Yeah. We'll definitely need to talk about him more in like part 2, where he takes a more central stage as a villain. But that's
Right
also
now he's
one thing
dead.
I really do. Yeah, right now he's just dead.
Sure is.
That's one thing I really do like about essentially the first half of Bleach. There's no one villain. There's no one bad guy. There's none. This is essentially, for the first half, it's a story about a kid who gets a massive awakening to what the world he lives in really is, and starts gaining footholds in how to affect that world. Starts gaining skills and power to affect it. And when he finds some serious injustices that he does not agree with at all, and it is affecting one of his friends, not even, especially at this point, they're not like anything romantic or anything. There is nothing really there outside of like what fans put there. They are just friends. And he's just like, nope, one of my friends in trouble, I will tear this world apart to protect them.
dang, that sounds like Luffy.
And he's not a hero of justice, which goddamn it, that does sound like Luffy, because Luffy's not a hero of justice either.
He said, "We ain't heroes, bitch."
We're pirates.
But no, that is like Ichigo, and that is, I love the like, and the big 3 had that good attitude of like, fuck being heroes. Like, no disrespect to Deku, but like, and Tanjiro, because Tanjiro couldn't make it out here in those streets back in the day. Like, but there's something like, and I feel like that's why people love, the Chainsaw Man, and people love the Itadoris from Jujutsu Kaisen, because they have that like, big 3 energy of like, we don't give a flup about your people. It's us versus everybody. It's like gang mentality, which, is really what this is representative of. Ichigo had his homies and he rode up into the Soul Society with.
Yeah.
And he was like, "We gonna take what's ours, which technically is yours, but we stole it, so it's ours."
That man said, "Fuck
In
the
a way, yes, but not quite.
That man said, "Fuck the entire existence of the afterlife. We're coming for you."
Yes, he said, "I don't care. My soul ain't got a rest at all. Shoot." Like,
He
man,
said, Bankai.
It's a good thing spirits don't need food or rest. Unless they're injured.
yeah. So
That man was running. Oh, and that's one thing they don't make it exactly clear in the show, I think. But Soul Society, just the part they're running around in, is basically the entire size of like Asia, the continent.
yeah,
That
He's
explains why.
running That's why it's so damn big.
That explains the episode count.
Yeah.
yeah. No, the souls is like the afterlife, whatever it's called. Like, you really don't find out how big it is unless you read the manga, because the manga, like, and Naruto did the same thing. Like, because I don't believe, like, maybe this is just a problem back in the day. People didn't really care about science and shit. But, like, you never find out how big the area is. It's like, people didn't know that the Forest of Death was 23 miles. Like, in Naruto Shippuden, like, or Naruto, it was like 23 miles. And then I remember reading in Bleach, like, when they landed on the Soul Society, they were like, yeah, this basin, it's like, they said something like, she's 40 kilometers in or something. I'm just like, man.
I mean, that's a lot, but it's not like inconceivable.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, in the anime, it's like they just kind of walked right up there. It wasn't like, that's still like a large distance that I feel like needed to be.
But with everything happening and the pacing of it all, the line's in there. It's just brushed aside because it's just like, oh, must keep running. That's the point of it all.
So the one thing I actually liked in the anime that kind of gave me a scope, probably just me personally, was the gatekeeper guy. And then when all the gate walls came slamming down and just went on forever, I was like, this place is massive. Oh my gosh.
Good thing you brought that up, because that's actually going to make a comeback in the 1,000-Year Blood War arc.
Fun.
The lore and foreshadowing for everything that's going to be coming up in the newest arc is insane. It is insane.
Yes, that One Piece. No. Just, yes, we've had 1,000 episodes to think about how do we like tease the end from
Bleach isn't that far behind.
It is. It's about 700 episodes behind.
Just start working on it now.
There's fewer episodes of Bleach, counting all the filler, than there is of Naruto.
All right. So part 1 of Bleach, we go through the Soul Society. And we introduce the lore. We meet our group of characters that are going to go save Rukia, the Soul Reaper who saved Ichigo and his family by giving him her powers. We find out later on that Ichigo has his own Soul Reaper powers somehow that are not dependent on Rukia. They go off to save Rukia and fight the fucking Soul Society. And at a certain point, they progress after battle with holy shit. We could get into all of the battles, but some big ones for me are Kenpachi versus Ichigo, and seeing that kind of fight where it's just pure battle spirit and like experience and no soul bullshit. Also, the one with what the fuck is his name? The Quincy.
Oh,
God, I always forget his name.
Yes, Uryu and the fucking like
scientist man.
Mayuri.
Perfection. Yeah.
Yeah, the fucking captain of
we'll talk
science.
About that in part 2.
Bullshit. And Uryu bringing out that big ol' spirit arrow and blowing his Bankai up.
Yeah,
that was
my Yuri fight was dope.
That whole time, I was like, "Is this Captain like actually evil, or he's just a weirdo?" I think he's just a
Orochimaru.
You are meant to think that he is basically Orochimaru.
Yeah.
Like Unit 731.
Just
shit.
like just like Kai said, he is basically a
I
Orochimaru.
was like, this man is making me uncomfortable. He said,
Don't worry.
the
more you watch, he goes off. He has a great speech.
He's freaking great.
It's probably one of the best speeches.
The speeches in general in this show, I love.
Again, that's the thing. I know I'm gonna keep talking about the big three, but the big three had the best speeches. Like, hey, listen, man, the speech about perfection, and this, and Aizen's speech, and then, you know what? Even though Fairy Tail is not part of the big three, it was around the time frame. They got dope speeches too. Fix the anime speeches, man. Sorry.
They were linear. Even just Urahara's basic one on like how to fight for Ichigo when they're training. You can essentially interpret that one for like how to go after something in your life. Like, you got a goal there, this is how you do it.
Abandon all doubt or die.
Mm-hmm.
Abandon doubt. There's 3 simple steps. If you're defending, don't let them cut you. If you're protecting somebody, don't let them die. If you attack, kill. Go.
That, and then the big reveal after the Bankai training at the actual execution. We're deep into the execution of Rukia. She's up on the thing. The dude comes out, like the number 1 captain comes out with his gray ass Gandalf beard, and he like turns the giant spear into a fucking phoenix, and then we're just gonna murder Rukia. And Ichigo comes out of nowhere and is like, now you feel like number 1.
Oh, so good. That spear has the power of 1,000 Zanpakuto.
No, I was about to say the
1,000. And
the
he's
build up,
standing there with one sword, just like, what's up?
The build up of like that weapon of execution, like this thing can kill literally any captain if they so choose because they did bad stuff. I'm like, and then I was like, yeah, it's got like 1,000 bonk. I was just like, wow.
1,000 blades.
I'm scared.
My soul may never hold.
But literally, that encounter where he's just standing there like that, people overlook this all the time, but he literally just wrapped up his Bankai training. He just got patched up with all of his wounds from that training. Yeah. And this was 2 days of nonstop fighting for him, and he just shows up there and goes beast mode on these bitches.
He was on his Yusuke.
He was on his Yusuke shit. He's like, death ain't even stopping me.
Like, what I feel like is also very underrated in the Soul Society arc is, okay, Komarura.
Run that back.
I think that's his name. Komarura?
Which
Komamura?
one?
Komamura, yeah, who saves Tosin from being like when Kenpachi's like, bruh.
Yeah. Bark.
Yeah, Bark. Wow. But yeah, like when because we just got the information of how strong Kenpachi is. And this dude comes in and stops Kenpachi with his arm. And you're like, oh, who is this dude? And then his face falls off and you're like, oh, he's a wolf man.
He's a dog
man. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I know who we are.
And then he becomes irrelevant into the 1,000-year blower. But then,
oh no, he does not.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, that's the cool part that happens. I don't know. For me, it's just like, okay, you did that, and
I do love how after we see everything with Kenpachi, these people already know what this shit is, and you're right. He just steps up and is just like, yeah, Ichigo ain't the only one who's loyal to his people. You a Godzilla monster? Guess what? My Bankai is Godzilla with armor and a sword. Let's go. You ever heard of Attack on Titan? Imagine if they were samurai.
Ooh.
I just sensui ass.
I would rather they had been samurai the whole time than what happened in the ending of Attack on Titan. But we'll never talk about that. We'll never talk about that. Maybe we will. Who knows? We'll do it.
We probably will.
We'll see when the inevitable part 5 of the final season of Attack on Titan comes out.
Lord.
And then part 6 and part 7 and
Never gets old.
and the next day and the next day and the next day
5 decades later.
and the next day.
So, any other big moments that really scream,
Yes.
this was hype? Give it to me. Come on.
All right. When the first giant hollow, the
Menos Grande.
Minos Grande comes out, they're like, oh no, it's gonna like blow up everything. How
And
do we
that
deal with
motherfucker,
this?
Like, pulls back the curtain of reality to
Mhm.
step
Oh.
through. That's that art shit that just does
Yeah.
it for me, man. That's
Oh, that was cool.
Those
so
little
unique.
touches like that. So
And-
nice.
in the way that it transcends like the human comprehension of reality, just peels back this invisible curtain to step in, and all of this, like the spiritual stuff that happens in the human world, that's one of the things that really like does it for me. But Minos Grande just exists now. Keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking
And
great.
like, and this was one of my first, actually, like, core memory just popped up. First interaction with Bleach, just saw it randomly on TV late at night. This was the scene I saw. I saw the giant Minos Grande come out, and I saw them. I gotta shoot it. Put your sword on top
Yeah.
of my head so I,
I love
can.
he's like, just tie this shit to my dome. Let's do it.
Your big ass, basically the size of your body sword, tie it onto my head.
I think basically that was just him feeding off of Ichigo's spirit energy, but then
Yeah.
Ichigo's just like, screw this is dumb. Goes up, slices it, and then the Minos Grande is like, goodbye. Just,
I mean, that comes after the Minos Grande being like, I'm going to hit you with a death laser that's going to murder like 4 square blocks. And Ichigo's like, fuck your shit. I have soul pressure.
Man, it's just like, hey, you heard about Nuke? I spit those. No, that is truly one of the hypest moments in early Bleach in the Substitute Soul Reaper arc. And it is a prime example of why when Sakuga wanna go off, Sakuga go off in this show. They put all of the budget into these moments, which is why the smaller moments still looking good, even by today's standards. There was some serious passion that went into this.
Okay. So let's talk about some of the perils and controversy that Bleach's face. One of the things I noticed in my rewatch is it's very difficult to find high quality
yes.
streaming releases in the current day, this being, I don't know, August of 2022. I got a Hulu and I checked this shit out, and it is rough.
Yeah.
Like,
It's rough on Crunchyroll as well. It's
It's
there,
rough
but-
everywhere.
I mean, but you go to the high seas and it's like, okay, you got a 4x3 and 16:9,
Yeah, the
But
damn
at least
Blu-ray
y'all-
quality.
but at least your lines ain't crunchy. Like,
Yeah. I don't know what it is about the streaming stuff with the show, but it's like the only copies they have that they can put on streaming is that dude who DVR'd the show and then just never got rid of the recording.
Quick, how
Hey,
do
you
we
mind your
find
business.
copies of Bleach? It's like, didn't Jerry record a couple back when he was?
Yeah, what
yeah,
really-
get his copies.
What really doesn't help either is that for some reason, especially when all the spirit shit's going down in the show, the Substitute Soul Reaper arc, they have this weird hazy filter on it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong, it still looks fucking great. When you like take that filter off, that animation looks pristine. But with the filter on there, like they had for broadcast, it
Yeah. I feel like, let alone with that, it's just like, at least in the dub, the dialogue was super dated. Like,
that's why you watch everything old subbed. We know better. But yes, the dub had iconic voice actors that were really, really stand out in their role. But definitely, as you described, the dialogue could be rough.
Yes.
When we weren't getting this big bomb ass speech after like having swords drawn and like hype, just the medium, the comedy is probably where a lot of it misses in translation.
Yeah.
And it's so wild how like things like, like just circa early 2000s, that dialogue kind of misses. But like, I've gone back and I rewatched like Yu Yu Hakusho and like Samurai X, and that dialogue Loki still be hitting like. And even Sailor Moon, even though like they hold it a little bit with the censorship, like the dialogue still be crunchy in a good way, like thick in a good way, like glizzies in a bun with cheese.
What the fuck are you, Sonic? Fucking glizzy.
I wish
chili dogs
with cheese.
You know how many You know how many people I would save if I was Sonic?
2.
The hot dog guy. That's it.
I gotta save my chili dogs. gotta go fast.
Got your grid number.
Okay, so we have release problems. We have kind of dated translation in the dub. It's 4:3, which is what it is. It's pretty.
Yeah.
It can be pretty. But it's also old, and in a world where every television is a rectangle, it's hard to go back to an almost square rectangle. If you aren't prepared for it, if you're not committed to being a fucking weeb, which if you're not, that's not our problem. One of the like intrinsic issues with the show, though, comes with the production problems for its entire release, and that being the fact that it's entire runtime up until this point, because we're getting the 1,000-Year Blood War arc, and I doubt that's going to be 0 filler, but the current 366 episodes is about 45% filler.
What makes that even worse is that outside of the bounce arc, which you could easily put in to the whole like Soul Society first half kind of thing, all of that is during the Arankar stuff. The production on that series got hoed so bad. There was literally a point where they were in the middle of a fight. Cut to filler. Like 16 episodes. It got hoed so bad. There have been some fans, thank God, that have gone through and made better cuts of it to where you can enjoy them like as they're meant to be on like YouTube and whatnot. If, Viz is willing to let them stay up. But yeah, if you buy the Blu-rays, the DVDs, or whatever, you can try to watch it just as it goes. It's sometimes just not watchable because of how it go.
Definitely had to take a break.
By the time they fight Aizen, half the episode is a recap of the previous episode because everything was so important. They gotta keep hammering it in.
Which, for me, I appreciate filler on a production and artistic level. Like, people still went and wrote and draw and animate and like edit and produce all of that shit, which is why I kind of really enjoy Sailor Moon, because Sailor Moon's about half filler because of the intention of the production, right? You have the minute episode count to be broadcast, whatever. I appreciate the effort, but like at a certain point, especially in a rewatch, when we're facing time constraints within life, it's hard to justify going back and watching stuff that isn't plot relevant after the fact.
Oh yeah.
Thanks.
Now, don't get me wrong. Some of them are very unique ideas, like the Zanpakuto having a rebellion, the spirits becoming their own beings and fighting against the Soul Reapers. That's a really cool idea.
Did that happen?
That
in the Soul Society art?
Happens later.
Not in the Soul Society art.
Yeah, okay. Now that's, I was just making sure. I was like,
it was one of the fillers that happened shortly after the bounce arc.
Very much, I think same thing as like when all the eclipse spirits happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's a really cool idea. Hell, you find a lot of Bleach games like Brave Souls, they adapt that stuff so that you can actually play that. It's really cool, but it's so irrelevant to everything else going on. And as far as character stuff, they can't change. They can't do anything different.
yeah. I think that's what kind of killed me with the whole Bount arc. I was like, there's nothing of story substance here. It's just nothing's happening.
What especially killed me with the Bount arc is that they redid everything they just did in the Soul Society arc. Freaking final fight with Byakuya, Ichigo's whipping out his Bankai and going crazy with this thing, and I can't move. I can't move. Come on, damn it, move! I have to win this. Gets possessed by a hollow. One of the most badass things you see in a fight in, well, Shonen, but they just reused that entire thing with Shikai, his basic sword, in the Bounty. It takes away so much momentum and so much interest that it is literally just white noise.
So, other than filler, are there really any other controversies that we can talk about at this point that really impact the name of Bleach in the current day?
Through the Soul Society arc, it's not as big of a deal, but especially later on, the controversies get pretty bad. The censorship is one of the bigger ones. Because there's some things, especially later on, in the Arrancar stuff that happen, that you understand why characters have the reaction that they do. You understand completely. You see it in the show where they censored it, and it doesn't make any sense. Like, there's one character who the story's supposed to have her completely cut in half. She is bifurcated, like, completely.
Man said bifurcated. Listen to his education.
She is pouring her guts out without meaning to.
Yeah.
And this dude is freaking out, begging for Ichigo to bring Orihime back. And in the show, she just gets stabbed. It's just like, wait a minute. I just saw 6 people get stabbed in worse spots and are still fighting.
Yeah, the fuck is this one? Why is this important?
Why are you special? Get up, bitch.
Ooh. Okay.
But when you actually know what it's supposed to be, whew. No.
It's fucking freezing.
I got nothing to say except hurry the fuck up, Ichigo.
She gets freezing before the planet blows up.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh shit.
But that's just one example of why the censorship kind of diminishes the value of what's supposed to be there. Because no, I don't think extra gore, extra violence, and all of that's supposed to like matter in like storytelling like this. But if used right, it can definitely enhance the urgency in the situations. And Bleach uses it very well. Until it's censored.
Yeah, all I'm saying is Zeppeli didn't get not cut in half. And that wasn't important to Jonathan in JoJo's part 1. Like, but that's also kind of why it took till now for David Productions to like fully animate it, you know.
Yeah.
So,
thank God.
Sometimes it's just the time and place in which things get done. But
yeah. And so, I feel like that'll. Sorry.
Oh yeah, no, we're on the same page. Go ahead.
Oh, and I feel like that'll be taken care of now that we have Studio Pierrot coming out with the same people who direct and animated Akudama Drive, because they need their credit. I'm not just going to be like, oh, they did it for Bleach. No, they did it for Akudama Drive first. But anyway, and they've already said that they won't censor it. So it's going to be interesting because Tai Kubo is heavily involved. And this is the reason
was so bad they had to promise they're not censoring it this time around.
Yeah, and there's Tai Kubo is going to be heavily involved on this, and he's going to add a lot of stuff he left off in the manga, which thank goodness because it did feel like things. It did feel like things were missing in the manga. When you read it, at least 1,000 Year Blood War, you can tell that his health problems were back, or he just didn't give a fuck and wanted to leave. Which, from a lot of mangaka, that seems to be the vibe. Minus Oda, because he has a fucking train in his house. But whatever.
And just like with all of the manga, that's not the full story, but it is a good summation about things.
Yeah, and yes, Strange, he does have a train in his house. It was one of his things for the movie, but you didn't watch it because you a fake fan. But anyway, moving on.
Damn, dude.
Sorry.
I never even claimed to be a fan. I just said I liked One Piece. But anyways.
You are a fan of One Piece. If you watch more than 400 episodes of One Piece, you are a fan.
I was about to say, what the fuck are you talking about? Oh, you hit me with that figure? Okay.
When you're just like fake fan, I was like, well,
if you watch more than 400 episodes of One Piece, it's a little more than like.
Yes, it's like there's a whole thing about this guy who watched all of One Piece just to trash on it, and everybody's like, "Bro, you are insane! You watched 1,026 episodes to say something was trash."
It was like the one guy who bought all the Rosalina amiibos because he hated Rosalina for some reason.
So. Keep that shit off the market.
People are sick.
No,
but
buy this.
Yeah, but
take all my money.
Which is funny, that this is going to be uncensored. And there's a huge goose egg in the room now because it belongs to the rat.
So 1,000 Year Blood War, 1,000 Year Blood War arc is being animated, coming out in October, and the word is that Disney Plus is getting the exclusive streaming rights, at least in the States, and that's kind of fucking crazy.
I am very torn on this for two reasons. One, I don't know if this means Disney can now go in and just for the States, Canada or wherever, they can censor it now. I don't know if they get the choice on that now. Which, if they do, I expect that to happen because there's nothing about Bleach that matches their brand. I can't think of a single thing.
It's just kind of out of left field, really. It's like, oh yeah, you never think about Disney wanting to be into anime, but I don't know.
Kind of did.
Disney's had an anime presence.
Ghibli films over here, so
yeah, and also they streamed. They had Naruto, and they had the Digimon rights for a while until
for a long while.
Something else happened.
Saban got him back.
Yeah, Saban got him back.
Just like the Power Ranger rights.
This feels like the new wave of streaming competition, especially with last winter when there was the big up with Netflix getting the JoJo's Part 6.
Yep.
Part 6.
Part 6.
And Comey.
And Eden Zero. Those were two huge ones.
Yeah.
They kind of fucked over.
Because of Netflix. But
not so much Comey, but more so Eden Zero. But
Eden Zero for sure. But which is also kind of why I'm nervous because I want my simuldub, motherfuckers. Give me my simuldub. I've waited 10 years for this thing to get animated. Come on.
Yeah,
but it's the biggest streaming service in the world at the moment.
They surpassed Netflix last week or in early July or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah. So I'm super happy this show I love is going to be on that platform. I'm very happy it can now get that recognition. But with all the other things, I'm a little nervous that it's not going to be the way I was promised it as before.
I'm scared that it's going to be a streaming era for kids.
Well, for me, it's... So, one thing that I know, there's this anime called Summertime Rendering, which is like a mixture between Higurashi When They Cry and ReZero, which is about these kids who like have to solve a murder mystery, and it's like really good and super bloody. It's being licensed and distributed by Disney Plus, but it's not here, and but it's international. And here's the thing, like, I guess they're waiting until it's all over to bring it over here to America, but they still stream it like internationally, which blows my mind. But internationally, it is not censored. You can see all the blood and everything out there. So I feel like that won't really be the issue of it being censored. I feel like the issue will be when we get it, which is a huge problem because it's been October, and like, I have a theory. A strong theory. A theory is theory. Because there are some shows that are streamed on Hulu and Crunchyroll, just like they used to be on Hulu and Funimation. So my theory is that Bleach will be streamed on Disney Plus, but also Crunchyroll. That's my theory. Because Crunchyroll has promoted the trailer, Crunchyroll has promoted other things, and there was a panel for it at Crunchyroll Expo.
Yes.
And also,
yes, you are correct. But the thing about that is, Crunchyroll lost the bidding war for the streaming rights for the dub. For sure. Disney Plus has them for the dub for sure. They might be tied in with the ones for the sub. But I don't know.
And also, have we gotten official word from Disney?
No.
That's the big thing, right?
We got official word that they have the streaming rights, but we got nothing on anything else.
We
haven't even gotten word from Disney. That is from someone on Twitter who is like not paired with Disney, but paired with like the studio in Japan or some shit.
This is all like very excited because we're all excited. Everyone's excited about Bleach, the 1,000-Year War Blood Arc, or however the fuck it's actually titled.
1,000 years of bloody war.
1,000 blades of I am the bone of my sword. We are very excited about this because it's taken so long and everything looks so great.
Yes.
But we've yet to receive official word that this is coming from this streaming service at this time. It's all, at the moment, unverified rumor. Very big, important, supposedly, like, reasonably reliable rumor. Unconfirmed.
It's like the One Piece spoilers. I won't believe it until they tell me it's official.
You keep telling yourself that.
I'm telling myself that. It doesn't keep me from crying. But it was also, I hope it's not one of those things like the thing that happened with My Hero, where everybody's like, this isn't gonna happen, and then it actually happened. Everybody was like, fuck, this wasn't supposed to happen. So, like,
sometimes you get it right.
Yeah. So, I mean, we'll see if, like, my opinion is that I feel like Crunchyroll still will have a bid in it. Like, it feels weird. Here's my thing. How? I understand, like, summertime rendering, you don't know if it's going to be heat or whatever. You let that slide to Disney. I understand you like, Komi is a very popular manga, but nothing's been animated, so you don't know. Bleach has a cult following. Like, I have known people to dress up in the cloaks and carry around a giant Zanpakuto and just...
Yeah,
I know someone who's named their child Ichigo.
I like them.
It's my cousin.
Nice. But here's the thing. Crunchyroll's owned by Sony. So it's Sony and Disney at this shit again. It's Spider-Man all over again. They worked together before. They didn't let them get those bidding rights. They fought tooth and nail for it. But, Disney's the biggest studio and streaming service and basically a monopoly on entertainment. So
at this point, I'm glad I didn't go to Netflix. They can literally
just throw money at the problem until it's theirs.
I'm glad I didn't go to Netflix, though. I'll say that. I'll stand on that. Netflix would have fucked it up. It would have been like, you got the first 5 episodes this year, the next 12 when you're 45, and the rest gonna come out when you're dead.
I want to be mad, but you're exactly right. That's the formula. Like, fucking...
Also, we put a whole bunch of white shit suspiciously in here. Everywhere.
And it's glowing. Explain that.
China.
No, literally. That's the explanation.
Yeah.
Anyways, Bleach Part 1 through the Soul Society arc. What a shonen. What a show. This really resonated with me in the childhood. I remember staying up watching Adult Swim, like being current on this on Saturdays, and hating Sundays when I had to get up because I watched too much Adult Swim. But like, no, the story, the vibe, the supernatural mystery vibe is something that's always like resonated with me. And to watch all the action and relationship drama that's involved in this, Bleach is my shit.
Hey,
I have a dream, and this dream is a fickle dream, but a dream, and it is to one day have the complete, like, my own manga library, and Bleach is definitely one of the volumes that I want to collect. Like Bleach, I want the big three just next to each other, like all of Naruto, excuse me, all
you
of
got
Bleach,
the wall
all
of
of One Piece.
over there, and Naruto and Bleach take up those 3 shelves.
Because I stand by the fact that all 3 of these have some of the dopest art I have ever seen. And, like, the manga is basically an art book, honestly. Like, and I love the character designs of Bleach. It's some of my favorite in all anime. Despite, even it took me this long, I'm always like, yo, these, like, Sonbakuto, these creature designs are so great. And, like, Bleach is another one of the few anime, I'm gonna say it, that gave a lot of love to black people. Like, and characters of color. Like, there wasn't a lot of that back in the day. Like, it took Naruto forever to introduce the Cloud Village. Granted, Oda gave us Usopp, but then, we got more progressively. But, like, and then, I don't think Fairy Tail has, like, one black character in it.
No.
But, anyway, like, yeah, no, I don't think there's any. But, there's, like, the fact that, like, we got all that different culture in Bleach as well is so cool. Like, I love it. Like,
oh man, I love how he also takes inspiration for different cultures and whatnot for these different areas. I mean, Soul Reapers are clearly Japanese and whatnot, but Waco Mundo and the Hollows as such an inspiration from just Spain and different Spanish-speaking cultures.
Yeah,
in
Spain,
general.
Brazil, Argentina.
And when you get to especially when you get to the 1,000-Year Blood War arc and you find out, like, what Quincy is, those are German. Like, so German that the bad ones are clearly an allegory for Nazis.
Yay.
Thank God we killed them all.
Yeah.
That's the plot, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Part of it, yeah.
No spoilers, Zog. No spoilers. Be quiet.
Sure.
There's a reason there's a 1,000-Year Blood War arc.
There's a reason.
Thanks to the Quincy. All right, Bleach, the Soul Society. What a way to start the first 60 some-odd episodes of a shonen that continues to run on ad nauseum with great arcs interspersed. We will be back for part 2 as we build up for the release of the 1,000-Year Blood War arc in October. I'm excited, gentlemen. Final thoughts?
I'm tired.
It's a lot. It
Just
is
like-
a lot. But it's some good shit. It's some good shit. Just
No, it was great.
Just
I
look
wanna
up
continue
a
it.
list of filler episodes so you can skip those and you'll be fine.
Oh, trust me, I will. I will be doing that. I will skip all those episodes. So I
Hype
can get
for
to the good
1,000.
stuff.
I'm hyped for 1,000-Year Blood War. That's about it. Animated wise, I already read it, but yeah.
It's gonna be so goddamn good. Yeah, I've read it like 3 times and I'm still looking forward to this shit.
I
Which
read it in
will-
Spanish.
Because of course you did.
Cool.
Because
I,
that's...
I don't know how to read Spanish.
I mean, Waco Mundo, my guy.
Look, they gave me translation notes on some of those.
But,
I
no,
know
absolutely.
Sarah means 0.
I'm looking forward to it. We'll get to more Bleach here on Content Breaker. Catch all of our other content on all your podcatchers. Talking to Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Podcast, or Twitter, Instagram, YouTube as well. Content Breaker. Gentlemen, y'all have stuff too.
Yes, you can find me at Static Dreads. here.
In the description.
On Twitter, and mainly Twitter.
Mainly
I'll be tweeting.
At
Bye.
Static Dreads, I guess.
Yeah, at Static Dreads with a Z, because I'm cool.
That whole thing. All one
Yes.
word.
No spaces.
Strange.
Strangely entertaining. It's my name. Look it up on YouTube, Twitch. Stream on Tuesdays,
It is
9
also,
o'clock Central Time.
It is also an apt description of you.
Yes. You might think, wow, he's really strange, but also entertaining. Wow, what fun. Then I'm also on Twitter. Just look up Strangely Int. That's where I post things every now and then.
And of
Cool.
course, catch the other product. At your typical shonen protagonist, focusing on anime just like this. All right. Next week, we have something very exciting, presumably just like this. What are we talking about?
Let's go kaijus. We're talking Shin Godzilla.
Oh my god.
Very different from the norm here.
I'll have you know, it's some Evangelion shit. Next week on Content Break.